Hey Blake, as a church member, how can I be an encouragement to my pastor and church elders of my local church?
Well, it's also a very humble question for someone to ask. I think one of the first things just to say before I answer the question is sometimes church members don't remember that their pastors are still Christians that sin and need encouragement. So just let me say on the outset, pastors, if they are worth following in your life, they're going to be humble enough to say, I have down days and discouraging days just like you. So let me just say that on the outset. I think one of the probably the best ways that church members can encourage their pastors, whether that's their lead pastor or youth pastor or body of elders, whatever their church polity is, I think the main thing is number one, coming to church regularly. The pastor has prepared the meal or the sermon or the message or a Bible study to teach, and it's such an encouragement when the members of the church regularly show up and regularly gather on the Lord's Day. So I think just being in attendance in any of the public gatherings as a church is such an encouragement for a pastor. I think secondly is communicating how God is using his ministry to him. A pastor doesn't need to be flattered. He doesn't need to be treated like a celebrity or put up on some prideful pedestal. But a pastor sometimes doesn't know if what he's doing is connecting with the people. Like the parable of the four soils, the farmer goes out and he casts the seed and it has all these different responses. Well, a pastor oftentimes just doesn't know unless his church is telling him how God is using his ministry to help them grow. So that could be writing a letter, like snail mail, physical, with a pen or pencil, and putting it in the mail and telling him ways that God's using his ministry in your life or a friend's life or your spouse's life. It could be email, text messages, the random phone call, or leaving the voicemail, and just a kind way of showing that kind of appreciation for how God's using him in whatever way that a church member feels blessed. I think a third one I don't think is said enough is a church member every once in a while telling their pastor or their elders that they're for them. They're supporting, they support what they're doing. Oftentimes, pastors get a lot of criticism. Some of it is founded, and a lot of it most likely isn't. And sometimes when you only hear negative voices, a pastor can sometimes fall prey to a defensive posture because he's being attacked. And that's just by nature of him wanting to guard his heart. And so I think every once in a while, just a church member saying, I just want you to know I'm happy that you're my pastor. I am for you. I believe in what you're trying to do. And I know it's hard, but I'm going to follow with you as long as the Lord continues to give me life and the Lord has me at this church. And so I think just never underestimate, even just saying, I'm for you, brother. I'm behind you, and I got your back. And I think those are some probably practical ways to encourage your pastor.